Hi there, my name is Rozzy and I'm an ally. What I mean by that, if you don't already know, is just a friend of the transgender community. And there, you've learnt something already, unless you already knew that, in which case I'm sorry for being condescending. The term transgender is just used to describe people whose gender identity is different from the sex they were assigned to at birth. We've got two different words here that mean two different things. Sex is your chromosomes, basically, XX or XY, and gender is the way you view yourself. These words are often used as synonyms of each other, but really they mean a very different thing. And just a quick sort of dialect lesson for you. The term transgender is an adjective, so instead of saying Mary is a transgender or Mary is transgendered, you would say Mary is a transgendered woman. And of course, when talking about someone, an important thing to do is to use the correct pronoun. By which I mean, if someone identifies as a woman, you call her she or her, and if someone identifies as a guy, you call him him. And if you're not sure what pronoun someone prefers, the best thing to do is to either respectfully ask them what they would like to be called, or to avoid gender pronouns at all. Because when you refer to a transgender person as the incorrect pronoun, that can really spark their gender dysphoria and cause them to feel anxiety, panic, sadness. It's just a horrible thing to think about, because as I'm sure you can imagine, it must be very distressing when you're putting yourself out there and being honest about who you are, only to have someone put you down by referring to you as a gender that makes you feel uncomfortable. So I'm going to talk for a bit about how to treat a transgendered person. First things first, I feel like I shouldn't really need to say this, but I'm going to just in case. When talking to a transgender person, please avoid using any words like transvestite, tranny, he, she male, it. These words are incredibly offensive and derogatory, and saying something like that to a transgender person will obviously cause a lot of offence. But as well as this, if any of those words are in your day-to-day vocabulary, get rid of them. Anytime you use a word that refers to a social group as an insult in day-to-day conversation, you are adding to the stereotype that whatever social group, not just transgender, it could be anything in the LGBT community, anything at all, you are dehumanising them and suggesting that they are something that is embarrassing or less human in some way. So those words, no. But I think the most important thing when talking about how to act around a transgender person is just to treat them how they'd like to be treated. Just because someone is transgender doesn't mean they're any different from a person of that gender, or any different from anyone really, other than the fact that just by coming out as transgender to you, they've already have to overcome a lot of struggles. So respect that too. Make sure your transgender friend, partner, relative, whoever it is, knows that you're there for them and that they can talk to you about issues to do with their gender. But try not to bring it up, because I'm sure they don't want a frequent reminder of the fact that their assigned sex is different to their gender. Obviously, trans is not some kind of curse word. Of course you can bring it up. Many trans people are proud to say that they're trans, and that's absolutely what we want to hear. But it's not like the third option. You're not male, female, or transgender. You are transgender male, transgender female, or any gender position in between if you feel that applies to you. Because if you feel like a boy, you're a boy. If you feel like a girl, you're a girl. If you feel like anything in between, that's what you are. You are not defined by the word transgender. But all in all, just treat a transgender person the way that makes them feel comfortable, the same way you would do with any other person. Because after all, we are defined by our personalities, not by the number of X chromosomes we have. So I hope that's helped. And if you are transgender yourself, just remember that there are so many people who care about you and are willing to help with any problems you might face. It's been a pleasure to speak to you all about a subject that's very close to my heart. So thank you and goodbye.